Good evening. Tonight on Alaska's news source, flu activity is up this month. We check in on the numbers as the holiday season is in full swing. And first alert for high winds, blowing snow, heavy snow, and rain. I'll let you know where the trouble spots are and the latest warnings and advisories. And Kwanzaa has started. We go inside an Anchorage celebration and learn about the holiday.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
While the challenges continue, the winds are ramping up in the valley where first alert weather conditions are expected to last into Monday. Now, the valley won't be the only area experiencing the winter weather challenges. So over the weekend, Southwest Alaska, they'll be dealing with some blizzard conditions, which are expected to ease up tonight. Palmer, Wasilla, and Big Lake, another round of high winds. Are you prepared for possible power outages and heavy snow, turning to heavy rain in southeast Alaska? As we are looking at this timeline, you can see that, of course, we want to let you know that the winds are expected to ramp up into the valley tonight. How high could they go? Well, the gusts could hit 60 to 80 miles per hour. In southeast Alaska, they see snow, but that will turn to rain over the next 24 hours, making for a sloggy mess. Meantime, the winds will continue into the valley all the way into Monday morning, and also the winter weather over southeast Alaska. This is a challenge for these areas of the state, so we want you to be prepared. As far as other conditions that we want to let you know about, there have been colder temperatures into the interior and falling temperatures even into the valley areas. But check out these latest wind chills to 55 below is what it feels like around Utqiagvik, and 44 below right now into the valley. As you get into the South Central area, those winds expected to really ramp up this evening going into tomorrow. So just be prepared for that. We've already seen a 31-mile-per-hour wind gust here in the Anchorage area, but they'll start tonight later into Palmer, Wasilla, and around the Big Lake area, sticking with us through the weekend, but tapering off as we head into Monday. So we have talked about temperatures that have been cold as Fairbanks shivers through another round of 30 below temperatures. In case you missed it, the local rescue mission is experiencing a familiar increase in demand. But unlike some other shelters that provide immediate warmth, their high barrier model is focused on long-term solutions. The mission maintains a strict drug and alcohol-free environment to protect everyone on site. Those who can't meet those requirements are directed to downtown warming centers or Northern Hope. Last year alone, they served 60,000 meals and provided 46,000 bed nights, showing the continued need for their services.
It's not a drastic drop, but the numbers are lower than before, but the place is far more productive as far as helping people get back on their feet and getting a life and getting an apartment and getting reunited with their families.
Well, the mission has helped permanently house nearly 800 people over the last 5 years. That is good news. Well, as holiday season is in full swing, the Alaska Department of Health is reporting a spike in flu cases, and it's higher than it was the same time last year. Will Courtney breaks down the numbers.
We're starting to get deep into flu season, and the Alaska Department of Health said last week they've seen a notable increase in influenza or the flu since mid-November. Now, about the same time last year, there were 108 confirmed cases of the flu, and the next week saw a spike up to nearly 500. But this year, what we're looking at right now is state numbers showing 816 reported cases, confirmed cases of the flu on the week of December 20th. So we're looking at a pretty sizable uptick in the flu, but we actually haven't surpassed the highest peak of the flu this year. That goes all the way back to March when there were 990 cases of the flu reported. Let's take a better look at what we've been looking at over the last few weeks. This is that rise that we've been seeing up to this point that we're currently at. This was just last week, 391 cases reported before, of course, reaching that 816 cases we're seeing as of the week of December 20th. So something we're also watching as well, state numbers showing RSV and COVID-19. Now, COVID in Alaska seems to be similar to what it looked like last year, but RSV exploded about the same time. State numbers show we're currently at 75 cases of RSV and 50 cases of COVID. So we know Alaskans are getting sick right now, unfortunately, but what can you do to help keep yourself healthy? Well, let's look at what the CDC says. The CDC says you can do a few things to keep healthy. CDC data says getting vaccinated ultimately going to be the best way to reduce the flu, reducing the risk of having to go to the doctor by 40 to 60%. But it doesn't guarantee immunity from the flu, though. So That's where the CDC says you can deploy other methods, like avoiding close contact and staying at home. We all remember that COVID 6-foot rule. And while we are in a pandemic, fortunately, employing some space could help keep you healthy. Another great idea, covering your mouth and washing your hands. The CDC says viruses like the flu spread when people cough, sneeze, or talk. So putting on a mask if you are sick helps keep the virus from spreading. If you aren't sick, it could also help keep you from catching the flu. Will Courtney, Alaska's news source.
Thanks, Will. Good advice. We know that's going around. Well, the African-American holiday of Kwanzaa began yesterday and goes through January 1st. It's a non-religious celebration of family and social values. It is designed as a way for African Americans to reconnect with ancestral roots by celebrating African culture. Each day of Kwanzaa is dedicated to one of 7 defining principles. They are unity, self-determination, collective responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. Sankofa Dance Theater hosted a celebration in Anchorage just last night.
It brings the community together, it brings self together, it brings self-awareness, it brings community awareness together, and we build, you connect, you find people, connect with people, and you build relationships from there.
Well, each night, celebrants light a new candle on a 7-branched candelabra, and on December 31st, yes, they'll take part in a big feast. That sounds fun.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.